Well, hello to the second year Fast Trackers, and you know who you are. This is an exciting new podcast just for you. We are going to cover the weeks of October 23rd and October 30th. But before we go any further, let me just remind you that you always have an open invitation from me to share your tips, suggestions, advice, bitter personal failures as well, about things connected to staying organized and managing your time effectively. Amber, I know you had spoken to me at one point about a system that you use, but if any of you second year Fast Trackers have information that you'd like to pass along to your group or to any of the other students in ECE, send that info along to me and you may be featured in a future podcast and become a podcast star. And speaking of podcast stars, here is Ralu to talk to you a little bit, remind you about the ECE Lending Library. Take it away, Ralu.
Hi, I'm Ralu, and I'm a part of the Lending Library Committee. So I will be opening the Lending Library in the Nutrition Lab, where you can borrow books, you can borrow parachutes, and even some puppets. It will cost $20 for 3 years or $10 for a year membership.
What day will it be open, Ralu?
It will be open during UB on Wednesdays from 12:30 until 2 o'clock.
Thank you. Thanks, Ralu. So yes, Ralu's opening up the Lending Library on Wednesdays, and since I taped this interview with Ralu, other volunteers have come forward, and so the Lending Library is open on a couple of other days as well. So talk to Ralu, and I'm sure she'll be happy to share all those details with you. All right, if you have not already done so, get out your calendar, your agenda, your list, however it is that you're organizing all your assignments, because we are going to talk assignments, people. There's a lot to get through, so here we go. So here is your master schedule for the weeks of the 23rd and 30th of October. The first thing that I would like to draw your attention to is Kathy is reminding you to keep working on your creative product project. I had some fun working with Ralu and Panayota on this last week. Ultimately, that creative product will be worth 20% of your final grade. Also, Kathy reminds you for Monday, the 23rd, to read the article called Creativity is Collective. So that's an important reminder there. All right, the next thing I would like to draw your attention to is that the nation-to-nation reflection, or the reflection on that presentation that you went to in diversity, is due on Monday as well. So that's a reflection on that talk that you went to as part of the Social Sciences Festival with Carmelina. On Tuesday, Group 3 will be presenting with the lab children, Group 3 of the Movement and Music class. I'm not sure if there's any Fast Trackers in that group, but anyways, thought I'd give you a heads up about that. I have been hearing great feedback. You know, for the observing course with the first years, I am in the lab, and I hear the children and the educators talking about the times when they go to do the activities with the movement students, and they're really, really enjoying it. So if you are in Group 3, have fun. If you're not in Group 3, also have fun. All right, important reminder, Wednesday, October 25th is PASS Day, and you will be coming with me and other teachers on the bus out to the Step by Step Center. I'm really looking forward to this field trip. I've never been out to Step by Step, but they've got some great facilities, some great ideas, some great educators. So meet here at the college at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, October 25th to get the bus out to Step by Step for PASS Day. All right, and then the final reminder for the week of the 23rd is that on the 26th, your resource binder is due for the infants and toddlers class. All right, we spoke a few moments ago about the creativity class. Here is some video that I shot during a recent creativity class. Hello there. Let me talk to you about the week of October 30th because it's Halloween. That's why I'm wearing a costume. So yes, Tuesday, October 31st is Halloween. I encourage you all to wear costumes. I will be wearing one. Maybe some of the other teachers will as well. And I promise you that if you're wearing a costume for Halloween next Tuesday, I will take your picture and you will be in a future podcast. That's a guarantee. Even though it's Halloween, though, there is still some work to do. So here are some reminders about the week of October 30th. First of all, for diverse populations, your reflection on article set number 6 is due on Monday the 30th. Carmelina would like to remind you about that. On Tuesday, in the Movement and Music class, Group 4 will be presenting with the children from the lab. It is Halloween. Not saying that if you're in Group 4 you need to wear a costume, but something to consider, just saying. And at this point I think I'll take off my mustache and my hat because I'm distracting even myself. So Music and Movement, Group 4 on Tuesday. Also, you have, for the Intentional Educator course, your reading response number 2 is due. And Deanne would like to remind you that that is worth 15% of your final grade. And she has given me some tips about that assignment. So first of all, remember the instructions are to choose any video, podcast, TED Talk, article, any kind of document along those lines. But Deanne encourages you not to choose one that you've already used in any of your courses, because discovering new things, finding new resources is an important skill and attitude for any educator to do with intention. Also, remember that your reading response is a college level assignment, and so it should look professional. It should be presented in proper APA formatting, and it should have, you should use Times New Roman 12-point font. You guys know all this. You've already graduated from CEGEP, but just some reminders. A cover page, an intro, a conclusion, all so that it is as professional as it can be. So APA formatting there, our favorite. Also, remember that the purpose of this reading response is for you to link theory with practical examples. And so this could be from your practicum, from the lab, any other experiences that you have, any practical experiences. And also, don't just explain the theory. This is a tip from Deanne. Go further. Connect the theory to the practical examples. Use more than one example. This is a very specific reminder from Deanne. And also review the comments from your first reading reflection. She gave you some good feedback there to help you do better on this second one. As much as possible, make it meaningful and relevant for you. So those are some reminders from Deanne about reading response number 2 for the Intentional Educator course. All right, the last thing to remind you of is on November 2nd in the Infants and Toddlers course, you're having some special guests. So exciting. It's babies. So in order to work on your educator-parent communication and relationship skills, Donna has invited in parents and babies, and they'll be coming in on that day. And it's actually even better than this because there's not just one baby, there's 2. There's going to be a pair of 7-month-old twins coming to your infant and toddler class on Thursday, November 2nd. So that's very exciting. And then finally, on that same day, it is Dragon's Den in the creativity class. So I have been having fun imagining you people up there in the clouds with Puff the Magic Dragon floating, spewing smoke, and just having a grand old time. Oh, Kathy? What? Oh, dear. Kathy's just telling me this is not what Dragon's Den is going to be like. It's going to be more like this. Okay, well, maybe the dragons won't be that scary. I actually personally know all of the dragons, and they're very nice, and I'm sure their feedback will be very helpful. So that's Dragon's Den on Thursday, November 2nd. Remember that you will be making your pitch to the dragons, and so Kathy has some advice about that as well. She suggests that you dress the part. Think about what is the image that you would like to project to the dragons. So this might mean dressing in a very professional manner. It might mean dressing in a way that connects to the product that you're pitching. Whatever the case may be, think about how you dress before you do your pitch to the dragons. And also, think about your logbook. Remember, as you're preparing for your pitch, to log all of your creative process and how you have used the idea generating techniques to come up with your product and your pitch. All right, so that's it for information I have regarding assignments for the weeks of October 23rd and October 30th. Just a little mention about going forward. I'm still looking for ways to personalize these podcasts for the second year fast trackers. So I thought maybe choosing a theme song for your group could be fun. So maybe something very dramatic like this. I know my second year fast trackers, and some of them do like to be dramatic, but maybe something more like this. Fun and boppy. You can cut loose. Because I do know for a fact that some of the second year fast trackers like to dance as well. So if you have an idea for a theme song, send along that information to me, and I will be more than happy to incorporate that into future podcasts. As always, post your comments on YouTube after you have watched the podcast. Remember that you can get a full transcript by clicking on transcript just under the video. And of course, stay tuned for the next announcement, because that will mean that a new podcast has been uploaded just for you, second year fast trackers. That's it. Have a great week and a great weekend. Bye.